Hello you guys, welcome to my channel, and if you're new here, then just hello. If you guys are new here, then hello, welcome, and if you're not here, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, Byron's all ready to begin out this video. It's like in every video, always an emergency. Drinking water. There's no other source of caffeine in my house today. There's no tea, no coffee. My husband actually just took the kids to go get some, so we're drinking water today, and that's totally fine. Today's video is about an update on Brian Laundrie's remains. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen in the news, on YouTube, whatever else, that Brian Laundrie's remains were found, and that was like breaking news. Everybody's been looking for him, and I did a video a while back talking about when this first happened with Gabby Petito. Gabby Petito's body was found September 19th of this year, 2021. By the way, I'm just doing a really simple, not so glam mom everyday makeup look because I have other things to film on my other channel, so, and I just don't feel like doing a full glam look, so I'm like, why just not do my everyday look? If you guys were wondering what my everyday look looks like and how I do it, I'll leave all the products down below for you. I'll try to remember. I'm sure everybody already knows what happened with Gabby Petito. They went on their crossroad country trip. I'll leave my other video down below if you want to catch up like more on a deep dive of what happened. But they went on a trip across country, and Brian came back without her, and then within 10 days he lawyered up and wouldn't talk to anybody, and then he ended up going missing on September 13th in the Carlton Reserve in Florida. Nobody could find him, yada yada yada. And now we know more, and unfortunately, I don't know if this is unfortunate or not, because a lot of people wanted him to be gone, but I mean, I feel like, I don't know, there's no justice here in this case, which is so crazy. Poor Gabby. That's what I care about most, is just Gabby. I feel like just didn't get justice. I mean, yeah, I don't know. So Gabby's body was found September 19th in Wyoming. Brian's skeletal remains, that means he is like decomposed badly, were found in the Carlton Reserve in Florida by the FBI.
Tonight, the nature reserve where search teams made the grim discovery, now open to the public after being closed for a month.
This tiny little park here in Northport, Florida.
But listen, his parents, this is so weird to me. His parents literally went out there with the FBI. I think this was like their first time searching, which is also really weird. There's so many weird things about this case. Like, the people are like, the parents know so much more, and I cannot agree more. I definitely think the parents know more. Oh, and if you're wondering what this scratch is, I was going to war with my toddler. We are weaning right now, and she got me. So I have a battle wound, and she scratched me, and she just wasn't playing. So if you're wondering what that big old scratch is on my face, his parents went out there looking for the first time, which I think is kind of weird. Like, you never wanted to look for your kid before, like, weird. So they go out looking in the Carlton Reserve with the FBI, and they end up finding some of his items just like spotted there. And I guess this place where they found the items and where they found the remains was underwater at some point when they were searching, because they did search this area before. And they found like a notebook, a backpack, and I think like a little bit ways away. So the parents go, oh, we found like some of their items or whatever. We found Brian's items, like these are his. Then they find his remains just like that. And it's like the parents went straight to it, like they knew where it was. Like, I don't know if they knew where his body was before and they knew that it was underwater. So when the water went down, they were like, oh, what's over here? Like, I don't know, it's so weird to me. I really can't wrap my head around that, besides them knowing where his body was when all this happened. Like, I don't even know, you guys. So they found his remains, and his body obviously went under, well, there's no body, it's just skeleton, it's just bones. And also, if you guys don't know, the Carlton Reserve has a lot of like wildlife, like alligators and all kinds of wildlife, and it's crazy out there. Very thick foresty area, so they don't know exactly what has happened to his remains. They can't really say exactly, but I definitely think it's sus that the parents were like, oh, like his stuff is over here, and then they found his body like literally, or his remains, shortly after. I think that's so strange to me, but anyways, moving on. So they were able to confirm his identity by dental records. So they took his teeth, and that's the way they were able to identify that it was Brian Laundrie. This has been like a crazy search. The public has been so heavily involved in trying to find Brian. So I know for a lot of people this is really sad, and just people are just mad because they just feel like Gabby just didn't get the justice that she deserved, which I totally agree. But at least he's not out there just like living his best life, like at least that, right? I also were looking at, you know, other videos and channels and stuff, and a lot of people are like, so what happens now? Like, people are wanting the FBI to be able to charge Brian. It's like he's gone, you guys. Like, what is that gonna do? In my opinion, I just feel like, what are you gonna charge him with? You can't really charge dead men, can you? I don't know. So that's kind of weird, but people just want closure so bad, and I just feel so bad for Gabby's family and the Laundrie family. Like, people are really not being so nice to the Laundrie family because everybody feels like they knew more than what they were saying, which, I mean, I agree. I think they definitely did know more than what they were saying, but they still lost a son. And I really, like, let's really stop and think for a second. Do you really think that they wanted any of this to happen? Like, I don't think so. I think all this is just terrible, and, you know, they weren't expecting it, and they were just trying to protect their son. I'm not saying that some of the things they did was, you know, I don't know, like, I think maybe their lawyer told them to be quiet, not to say anything to Gabby's family, not to really speak out. I think they were just kind of following what their lawyer was telling them to do. However, I don't know, they definitely weren't really cooperative with the investigation at all, and I don't know how they could do that. Just being a person, like, that's pretty immoral if you ask me. I don't know, I would definitely think that they would have helped more, but, you know, they didn't handle this situation the way I would think they would. But at the end of the day, who knows how any of us would handle this situation, right, until you're in it. Anyways, I don't know, I do feel bad for the Laundries in some way, just because they lost their son to all of this craziness, and I'm sure that they weren't wanting any of this to happen, but I do think they could have cooperated a lot more. But I don't know, maybe their lawyer told them not to say anything. Like, I don't know, but, you know, at the end of the day, they lost a son and they lost their daughter-in-law, and I'm sure that's not what they wanted, like, at all. But they definitely could have cooperated a lot more. Autopsy came back inconclusive, so they really don't know exactly what happened to Brian. They don't know if he, like, you know, took his own life, or if wildlife got to him or whatever, but it does look like he's been out there a long time, so there's that. But they really can't tell what happened, and his body was sent to an anthropologist to hopefully see if they can know more, because I don't know, this case just didn't end the way I thought it was gonna end. I really thought, you guys, we were gonna find out, like, find Gabby. And so when I found out that she passed away, I was literally devastated for days. Like, I could not wrap my head around that they actually found her and she was deceased. Like, I was so upset, so upset that Gabby lost her life. I really thought that they were gonna find her alive, and unfortunately that wasn't the case, or the way I was hoping it was gonna go. It definitely took some crazy, horrible turn of events. So this case just did not go the way I thought it was gonna go at all. So the contents left behind was a backpack, notebook, like I said a little bit earlier. I don't know if there was a few other things or not, but, you know, they're not gonna tell us everything, right? Where's my water? I need it. I've been talking like 10 minutes straight. Oh, the FBI will be able to hopefully go through the notebook and recover some of it. They do have like a really good lab where they do that kind of stuff all the time, where they're able to recover all kinds of like letters and stuff like that. So hopefully, because the notebook has like obviously water damage because it was underwater for so long. Hopefully they're able to give us more answers with that, and maybe Brian like wrote a note or something. I hope he wrote a note, because that way maybe we can get a little more closure on what happened to Gabby and why. Also, I didn't even do an update video. I didn't want to do a whole bunch of updates on this case. It just was making me upset, and I feel like so many people are like capitalizing on it right now, making all these Gabby videos, all these updates. So I wanted to wait and see kind of really what happened before I even talked about it here on this channel. And yeah, Gabby's cause of death, we talked about it in my last video, was homicide, but it was actually due to strangling. I didn't even mention that because I didn't do an update video, but she was strangled, which is absolutely terrible. But I really hope he wrote a note to explain why this happened, or what happened at least. Like, no one knows if he did or not, but I'm hoping he did do the right thing in his last moments, if he did take his own life. There's so many theories, there's so much going on with this case, so many people think so many different things. I'm curious to know what you think down below, like what happened and why. They also released the second body cam footage of the first body cam footage that we saw, and that, honestly, you guys, was so crazy. Like, it just confirmed everything we thought. Like, this totally didn't have to happen if the police did more. I don't think that they were able to listen to that 911 call that was placed when, I think his name was Chris, that called, saying that he saw a man like slapping around Gabby. And I think that things would have been a lot different, because they literally were saying that she was the main aggressor in that second body cam footage, and they were trying to do everything to not arrest anybody and not press charges, because they felt like it was more of a mental illness thing. So that whole thing was crazy, and it was honestly really upsetting to see the second body cam footage. I was just like, oh, especially knowing what we know now, hindsight is 2020, and yeah, that was definitely upsetting to see that footage for sure. Also, the FBI doesn't have their phones. They don't have Gabby's phone, and they don't have Brian's phone. And I feel like if they had their phones, we would know a lot more, like a lot more. Like, we would see the messages, or I mean the FBI, not us, but maybe we would know something. Yeah, so they don't even have their phones, you guys. They don't even have their phones. So I think that's super weird too. It's like, where did their phones go? Like, nowadays, our phones are so important to each and every one of us. We keep it on our hip all the time. So I just wonder, like, what happened to their phones? Just like when Brian said in the first body cam footage that he didn't have a phone, but yet he's pulling out a phone later in the body cam footage. Like, what is that? I just don't know. There's so many questions with this case. And yeah, the Laundrie's are currently not at their house, not at their residence right now. They went to some, you know, secret location in Florida, and they are mourning the death of their son, and I'm sure that they are really sad. I know that they didn't want any of this to happen, so I feel like people were going so hard on them, but like at the end of the day, I don't think they obviously didn't want this to happen, and now they have to deal with it too. But Gabby's family is, I feel really, really bad for them, because I mean, wow, what they've been through in the last few months has been terrible. It's been so, I don't even know. Oh, I just can't even imagine how they're feeling. Poor Gabby just did not deserve this. She was so beautiful, so smart, and she didn't deserve this. She really didn't. Someone also found Gabby's water bottle. A TikToker found Gabby's water bottle.
The TikToker says she recognized it from Brian Laundrie's Instagram story and in some of Gabby's photos. Vitaly posted a video showing the moment she discovered the bottle, saying, "There's a water bottle right here." Gasping on camera, the TikToker said, "Holy."
And I thought that was interesting. She knew that she found something, and she was like saying that she knew she shouldn't touch it. And she somehow did touch it, because it ended up in her car, I believe. But yeah, she found Gabby's water bottle. And it's like a very distinct water bottle with like certain patterns, so it's like very unique. And yeah, I guess it was confirmed that it was Gabby's water bottle. And this was after the police said there was no more evidence in the forest. But then, like, of course, like, the police aren't perfect, and look, someone found a water bottle of Gabby's in the forest. So police were wrong. And yeah, you guys, that's really it for this video, for this look. It's so simple. Like, it literally took me less than 10 minutes to do this makeup, and it would have taken even less if I wasn't yapping and talking about this case. This is a lot more of a laid back kind of true crime and makeup. I know this video is not super long, but I just wanted to give you guys an update. If you guys were like looking to me for an update. I don't know. There's so many videos out there, so I'm sure you guys already know this already, but this was a huge break in the case, and I'm definitely a little late on it, but I just wanted to see if anything else was to come out. So as of right now, we don't know what happened to, or at least while I'm recording this, we don't know what happened to Brian's body. So yeah, I'm honestly glad this case is hopefully gonna be closed, because this whole thing was such an emotional like roller coaster for me, and not knowing where Brian was and then not knowing where Gabby was, or not knowing where Gabby was and then not knowing where Brian was just like, it was just a lot for me just to even handle in my home. And I don't even know these people, but I just felt so bad. And I love true crime so much, so I definitely been following this, and yeah, so pretty crazy. And a lot of people are saying that the parents should get like a civil suit, or something should happen with the parents, because they're saying they weren't saying everything that they knew, and everyone thinks that they know more, which I agree. I think they definitely knew more. I do think the parents knew a lot more than they were saying. I mean, they went camping. I don't think I mentioned this in my video either. They went camping, because I did this video like way earlier on in the case, like when we just found out that Gabby's death was a homicide, but we found out later like also they went camping, which I thought was so weird. Like after Brian got back, that came out too, is that the family went camping, and that was so weird. And it was like for one day or something. They drove like an hour and a half for like one night. Super strange. And then, you know, they don't mention that Gabby's anywhere, so it's just like all really strange to me. And yeah, so I'm just gonna leave it there, and let me know what you guys think about this case down below. It has been so exhausting, and I don't know if the parents should really get charged, because I mean, they do know more than what they're saying, but they're also grieving. And I feel like even by charging the parents, there's like really no justice for Gabby. Like at the end of the day, Brian's not on this earth anymore, and at least he doesn't get to just go off living his best life after what he did to her. He should definitely either be in jail, in prison, or in the ground. So he's in the ground, and that's basically it for this case for now. And yeah, so make sure you guys like, comment, all of that good stuff. Subscribe if you're new. I would love to have you. And hit that bell notification so you know when I upload every week, once a week on this channel. I also have a second channel. It's all things mom life, and basically just mom life in my everyday life. So if you guys want to see more of that and want to see my house or whatever the case is, I'll leave that channel down below as well. And I'll try to leave the makeup down below for you guys if you're interested in this very simple look. I don't really wear mascara or anything. I'm very simple with my everyday look. It's very minimal. And yeah, so bye you guys, until next time.